Hey everybody, Marcel Ernie Racing. Gina Carano, she is suing Disney and LucasFilms with Elon Musk's help. Elon Musk has gotten her a lawyer and got the ball rolling, guys, after a post. We're going to get into it, but a little bit about, if you don't know, she's obviously in the Mandalorian. As an American actress and former mixed martial artist, she competed in Elite XC and Strikeforce from 06 to 09, where she compiled a 7-1 record. So she is an athlete, okay? And we're over to Gina's Twitter. Today is an important day for me. I am filing a lawsuit against Lucasfilms and Disney. Good for her, as you're going to learn. After my 20 years of building a career from scratch and during the regime of former Disney CEO Bob Chapek, Lucasfilm made this statement on Twitter, terminating me from The Mandalorian. Quote, Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilms, and there are no plans for her to be in the future. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. Well, we all know Disney's democratic, fascist, extreme terrorist left are the really abhorrent and unacceptable, and forcing control over everybody and their culture and their religion is what is abhorrent and unacceptable. Anyways, continuing. Nothing could be further from the truth, she writes. The truth is, I was being hunted down from everything I posted to every post I liked because I was not in line with the acceptable narrative of the time. And this goes right back to COVIDism, guys, and we'll show you. My words, so she's on the right track of understanding what's going on in the world. And truth, of course. My words were consistently twisted to demonize and humanize me as an alt-right-wing extremist. But in fact, she's just straight and center, and everybody else on they're the terrorist left attacking her. It was a bullying smear campaign aimed at silencing, destroying, and making an example out of me. So fast forwarding over to her Instagram. She's got a huge following, guys. Big star, 1.8 million followers, all right? And if you go through her posts, you're like, okay, what can we find right off the bat that the left would attack her on? And we got some stars and stripes and some culture. Let's keep moving, guys. I've seen it before. Bam, there it is. Here it is, the athlete of the century, one of the athletes.
Not being vaccinated today, I'm unable to travel to most of the tournaments at the moment.
And that's the price you're willing to pay?
That is the price that I'm willing to pay.
Ultimately, are you prepared to forego the chance to be the greatest player that ever picked up a racket, statistically? Because you feel so strongly about this chap?
Yes. I do.
Okay, guys, so yeah, she is showing somebody who respects medical autonomy. I am an extreme pro athlete, or this fellow is an extreme pro athlete, and I'm not going to inject something in my body where you can't even give me the ingredients list, let alone a person who's going to read every ingredient on everything is not going to eat a cupcake unless it's made with this, and this, 3 ingredients only. You get what I'm saying? And you have some of the comments here. It's clear the interviewer 100% doesn't get it and never will. Such a tool. Was it this is the interviewer that died also from unknown causes? We'll jump back. All right, back to the original on Gina's post. The thing is, I never even used aggressive language. I share thought-provoking quotes, pictures, and memes, and occasionally I use my own words, not with aggression, but with respect and the occasional comedy to keep the mood light and dark. Yeah, it's free speech. You know, she's allowed to it, of course. Look with your own eyes at what I posted, we just did as an example, and ask yourself, for example, where did I compare Republicans to the Jewish people in the Holocaust? I didn't. Ask yourself why they were calling me a racist. Was there any merit behind that or a history of it whatsoever? Well, we all know the Democrats, sorry, these are my own words, we all know the Democrats will try to shut you up by calling you racist. This is all the time. Shut you up by calling you anti-Semite, fuck my words. Anti-Semitism, or whatever they want, you anti-Semite. Now look at why I was called a transphobe for making droid noises from Star Wars. Beep, bop, bop. was obviously directed to the online bullies and did not in any way degenerate transgender people. Yeah, they'll just like hit you with anything. There's freaking terrorists of the Biden terrorist coup. Where are my questions about masks, lockdowns, and forced so-called vaccines okay to ask and push the subject into the light? Should we have been allowed to publicly discuss those topics at the time without being harassed or censored? Absolutely. And I 100% agree. Continuing, Hollywood says they support female representation and equal rights. Why then were my male co-stars permitted to speak without harassment and re-education courses or termination, but I was not afforded the same right to exercise my freedom of speech? So I don't really know what she's talking about there, but I haven't looked at it. We all know men and women, anyone who speaks out against the totalitarian regime of the terrorist left are attacked. Everyone's attacked, me included. Continuing, artists do not sign away our rights as American citizens when we enter into employment. I have spoken to all of my co-stars since I was fired, and there is nothing but care and kind words between us. I respect their right to free speech and do not have to think the same on every issue to be their friend and work with them, and I know they feel the same. So, on to the Elon Musk part. She writes, a couple months ago, Elon Musk tweeted that if you had been fired from using the platform X for exercising your right to free speech, he would like to offer those people legal representation. Quite the noble offer, but never in my wildest dreams would I have thought anyone would take on my case against LucasFilms / Disney. Still, I did respond back, quote, I think I qualify, end quote. And thousands of people agreed, but I did not expect anything. To my surprise, a few months ago, I received an email from a lawyer who had been hired by X to look into my story and many others. Turns out, after sending them as much information as I could gather these past few months, my now lawyers and X, Twitter, Elon, believe wholeheartedly in my case and are moving forward. I would like to express my deepest gratitude and thank you to Elon Musk and X for giving me the opportunity to bring my case to the light. As for me, I would love to pick up where I left off and continue my journey of creating and participating in storytelling, which is my utmost passion and everything I worked so hard for. It's been difficult to move forward with the lies and labels stuck on me, backed and encouraged by the most powerful entertainment company in the world. I am grateful someone has come to my defense in such a powerful way and look forward to clearing my name. Thank you to all the people who have supported me and made my voices heard. I pray God blesses each and every one of you. With love, Gina Carano. For inquiries, contact the Carano lawsuit at sheriffshaft.com. And so she's got 4,100 quotes, 28,000 reposts, 6,200 bookmarks, 30.6 million views, 185,000 likes. And a good quote, hey Disney, go fuck yourself. I should save that meme for this poster. And we have a Gene Share. It must be a lawyer because it was at the email. Delighted to be representing at Gina Carano in this important lawsuit seeking to protect her right and everyone's right to free speech. Grateful to X and Elon for their support. Yeah. I also saw this earlier. I figured I'd include it. So guys replying to Lucas and Star Wars ignored the thousands upon thousands of death threats to violence and sexual abuse sent to Gina Carano for months before they fired her. Here's just a sample. And, I mean, you can imagine, I hate you, suck this, suck that, right? And a lot of the comments are, go get him, this is the way, good luck, the day has come, let's go, Gina. And here's a meme. Don't try to ruin my life with lies when your life can be ruined with the truth. Haha. Now I'm looking at Gina. She's done 6,000 posts.
A good half, 6 inches higher than my safe.
And so am I.
Huh? I see.
What were you like as a kid? What kind of childhood did you have?
Well, I had a good childhood, wonderful parents.
From the over-the-fence in private enterprise, he's trying to run a municipal administration.
It can be done.
You think it can be done?
Absolutely. By the right person, it could be done.
Yeah. Any thoughts? I mean, would you want to be mayor of the city?
No, I wouldn't want to be mayor. It'd run very well if I was mayor, but I would not want to be the mayor of New York.
And what about are people trying to draft you to run for president up in New Hampshire?
Well, I guess a lot of people want to see this country. It's a shame what's happening. Japan, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, everybody's taking advantage of the United States. People know that if certain people are running a country, that it won't happen. I mean, when you look at Japan, not paying for the defense, we're defending Japan. We're losing billions and billions of dollars. We're fighting for AIDS help and for farmers and for this and that. And it's a shame. And the Japanese folks, who I respect greatly, but they're not treating us fairly. They're really not treating us fairly. Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, they're not paying us anything for the services we're rendering, and I think it's a disgrace. And I think people look at certain people, and maybe me, if I were in a position, this country, believe me, would not be ripped off like it is. And it is just being ripped off so badly by our so-called allies.
Yeah.
Okay, so she shared that, and then here's a post directly. You know what's crazy? That our government works harder to prevent people from getting their hands on raw milk, but not fentanyl. Let that one sink in. Well done. Yes, let's save that, guys.
But it's only me doing these posts ever. I don't have a team or anything. In fact, I generally would recommend for leaders of the world to just literally post your own stuff. And once in a while you make mistakes. But it's for leaders of the world to just literally post your own stuff. And once in a while you make a mistake. Don't worry about it.
Saying, hey, this might be the one time you need to tone it down.
This might be the one time you need to what?
Tone it down, the trash talk.
I don't tell anybody to do anything. I don't try to control any other human beings in any way, shape, or form. They do it this way. I say it all the time, we're in the fight business, and, you know, if you get your feelings hurt that bad, you probably shouldn't ask the type of questions when you know the answer you're going to get from Strickland. Let's start there. You know what I mean? If you ask him, you know who he is. And if you ask him a certain question, he was baited in that question.
I'm not, sorry, I was not referring to that question. Just, you know, Strickland got a little...
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
I know what you asked me. It is what it is. It's the fight business, man.
Dana, I just want to go back. You were talking about, like, you obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, you know, what they can say when they are up there with a UFC microphone, and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Like,
Oh man,
you ever consider going to those guys
sorry,
and saying,
guys, we all saw. I did a story on all this, you know, and he's like, I don't give a leash to anybody. I don't put a leash on anybody. What the hell's wrong with you? Who do you leash? And you know, so this is what she's posting in January now. So if we went back to before she was fired, I could only imagine very similar. She's posting what you should be posting. Absolutely. Good on Gina Carano. Thank you for being on the right side of history and not being a terrorist to a virus within our countries. Like, who knows? The corruption is out of control. I'm going to say this again. The corruption has never been worse, where all the G7 countries or G20, whatever you want to freaking call it, are trying to eat themselves alive. It's a virus that's killing the host. Now, where is this corruption coming from? Well, those are some questions, right? You got the globalist elite assholes. You got the CCP, China, money up the zang. Where is it all happening? Why are Chinese groups, special little groups, trying to infiltrate the USA by going through the Darien Gap with all the regular asylum seeker families for economic asylum seekers, right? They're not political. Their economics are failing everywhere, and then they try to come into the U.S. thinking the economy is going to be better. But in that, there's infiltrated group of Chinese men, not families, that is mixing with that. And then their borders are completely open. The U.S. to Canada, through, you know, they go through the bottom, up through the Darien, into Mexico, into the U.S., and then the U.S. ships them to Canada. And so what is going on with that? Ernie Racing News, guys.